And good morning. This is one of the grinding for upgrades on the SU. Uh, sorry, this is the Yak 15. uh, Nothing like making a total ass out of yourself in the first 30 seconds of the video, is there, Jeff? All right. And if you're waiting for a massive upgrade in the guns, haven't been able to grind to that point yet. What we have is a very turny fighter, and the firepower, as you can tell, is a bit underwhelming. And the altitude performance is perhaps not everything that one would want. In fact, as soon as I finish doing what I can, and I do stress what I can, I am going to rock it down and pick up all the speed I can and get down to a more comfortable altitude, because running around here at 100 miles an hour is not a smart move. Alright, let's get turned up because we're going awfully fast. And using this as a post hole digger is not my idea of a smart move. It's an RB-17. I don't think I have to worry too much about him running down the strafing. And let's see, we have an engine fire. And the aircraft is turning as all hell, but it does remind me as a jet rendition of the Hayabusa. Okay, we're going to head out of the area because I just don't feel like I have enough, too much high altitude stuff taking place, and this is a high altitude fighter. Yeah. Come back in here. And we'll turn away.
The enemy is launching rocket strikes on our complex. Try to neutralize the enemy.
And not unexpected. Lack of firepower is going to be the most difficult thing you can overcome. Eventually, with the upgrades, with the SU, I keep wanting to call it, with the Yak 15, the lack of speed can be overcome. The lack of, it's got great turning abilities. What it does not have is firepower. Now, when it comes to this sort of confrontation with a TL-90, you have all sorts of advantages. It's not more maneuverable than you. He doesn't even really outspeed you that much. So that was a case of a failed boom zoom against somebody that was faster than he thought he would be. The lack of altitude on this is also going to be an issue. No matter what you may think otherwise. And so trying to be relevant can be a little tough. And again, we have a P210, BV P210. I'm not sure what that thing is. That'll be a German aircraft to be that weird.
Support will not be available.
I keep frantically pushing on the boost button, trying to get more speed out of this thing. And I'm so far hope that when your altimeter turns red, you are way over your altitude capabilities.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Returning to base. Do you copy? Our airfield is under enemy control. We need to retake the initiative. They've almost got us.
And there's our P210 again. And I see not one but two aircraft rapidly coming in. So we're going to turn around here. You may notice I'm making extensive use of my radar here.
Good. Go back to base.
Alright, in an earlier video I called this a jet aircraft with training wheels, and it's exactly what it feels like. I went and did some of the studies on this. The aircraft actually did go into production. Eventually some 500 of them being built. They were used as trainers because they were easy to fly, easy to learn on. Made it easy for pilots that were military pilots that were transitioning from their training propeller aircraft, early stage trainers, to switch to this. which prepared them for the LA-15 and the MiG-15 fighters that they actually used as honest-to-God fighters. And it shows in a lot of ways. The aircraft is only designed to be good to 1,500 feet, about 5,000 meters. And you notice that's about where it peters out when you do the adjustments for height that they've imposed in the game. In its own way, it's a good aircraft, but it's one where its rule is a little difficult, and it's because of this. Don't mean to be overly harsh here, but it's an extremely turny aircraft. But the idea that the armament's so limited and that the altitude is so limited means that this is a very frustrating aircraft. I was constantly finding myself at higher altitudes than the aircraft was comfortable at. I was losing power because it was beyond its ability. And this is an area where when you start looking at other fighters at Tier 8, you have things like this, 420 millimeters, 23 millimeters. Let's look at the gun armament. So you're looking at about 440, not 240. When you look at the I-250, your 223s and a 20 millimeter. KI-94, 230s and 220s, 515 if memory serves me right. This monster, with all its failings, I can actually pull it up here. You know, you're talking 800. I don't know what a 262 will do, but I believe it has 430s in its nose too. You would expect very similar armaments. So let's get back to the aircraft itself. So it's frustrating. I find it a very frustrating fighter to play with. If you get down into some of the maps where you have to get down into a valley and swirl around with other fighters, I have no doubt this is going to be an absolute terror. When you start talking about an alpine map where everybody's up high and the only people that are down low are multi-roles and ground attack fighters, this is going to be difficult. Because you're always going to have to watch for the boom and zooms coming down on you like a rocket, because they have plenty of room to maneuver up front, line themselves up, do their attack, and zoom off. That's what they're designed to do. That's what they are going to do to you. And so that imposes a great deal of strain on the pilot because you're always looking over your shoulder. For every attack that I made, what you didn't see was that I had my eyes every 2 to 3 seconds. My eyes were back on the radar and watching who was coming close, who wasn't, and how to take advantage of it. Now, we had a good run with the aircraft, whether I lost or not, but that doesn't make this any more pleasant to fly. Not that it's a bad aircraft, but it's real difficult to fly at this tier. That will conclude this video for today. I do appreciate you. I want to thank you for watching. I also want to encourage you to like the video if you like the video. Obviously, I'm not very fond of the aircraft. Don't let that affect you. If you enjoyed the video, by all means. This is supposed to be an aircraft review video, and I'm supposed to be honest and tell you what I like and don't like about the aircraft. There are a lot of aircraft out there just like it. That are just about the same speed. Unfortunately, they don't have the same altitude disadvantages. Remember to subscribe to the video. I do need all the subscribers I can get. I want to thank you. You all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.